Did you know that sexual trauma can sometimes appear as hypersexuality? It may seem confusing, even contradictory, but it is one of the ways the brain attempts to cope with pain and regain a sense of control. For some people, what looks like promiscuity on the outside is actually survival on the inside. If you've ever judged someone nor even yourself for being too sexual, what you're about to learn might completely shift your perspective. This subject is rarely discussed, even within mental health spaces, but it lives in the gray area between shame and survival. People often assume that being overly sexual means someone wants attention or lacks boundaries. But for many trauma survivors, it isn't about desire. It's about trying to feel safe in a world that once took that safety away. In this video, we'll look at what's happening in the brain, why some survivors react this way, and how understanding it can replace shame with compassion and healing. Because once you understand the why, healing begins to make sense. When someone goes through trauma, especially something involving power, consent, or safety, the brain shifts into survival mode. The amygdala, our inner alarm system, becomes overly sensitive. It starts looking for danger even when nothing threatening is happening. The brain doesn't just remember trauma, it reorganizes itself around it. At the same time, the reward system starts linking small moments of relief or control to certain behaviors, even ones that may not feel good later. It's not a conscious decision, it's conditioning. The brain learns, this makes me feel safe, even if only briefly. But here is what most people don't understand. The brain can mistake control for safety. And that misunderstanding can shape how someone experiences intimacy for years to come. Why yes feels safer than no? For some survivors, sex starts to feel like a way to stay safe. Saying yes can feel safer than saying no, because no might bring rejection, anger, or danger. In those moments, control becomes the illusion of safety. By choosing what happens even if it hurts, the brain whispers, at least I'm the one deciding, and in that moment, saying yes isn't about desire. It's about protection. It's the brain saying, if I can control this, maybe it won't hurt as much this time. To others, it may look like consent, but inside it's fear management. It's not empowerment, it's self-protection. The body and mind are trying to rewrite the story, turning fear into predictability and helplessness into control. Hypersexuality as a coping mechanism. In this context, hypersexuality isn't about pleasure or desire. It's about avoiding fear, rejection, or being ignored. It's about using closeness to quiet the internal alarm, even if that closeness feels hollow afterward. Everyone copes in different ways. Some people shut down and avoid intimacy completely. Others seek it out constantly, even when it isn't safe or fulfilling. Some cope by avoiding intimacy, others by chasing it. Both are expressions of fear in different forms, and both are valid. Both are survival responses. Both are ways the brain tries to regain a sense of safety and control. And it's important to understand, not everyone who experiences trauma develops hypersexuality, and not everyone who is hypersexual has trauma. But for some, the connection is deep. From a psychological standpoint, this is considered a trauma response, the mind's way of adapting to something overwhelming. It's not a sign of weakness or brokenness. It is proof of how powerful and creative the human brain can be in finding ways to survive. The brain doesn't prioritize what feels good. It prioritizes what feels predictable. That is why people get stuck repeating patterns that don't make them happy. Predictability feels safer than the unknown. The brain is trying to rewrite the narrative. Powerlessness becomes choice. Shame becomes control. Fear becomes familiarity. And while these patterns might not be healthy, they are understandable. They're the body's way of saying, I'm still trying to protect you. If this feels familiar, please know you aren't broken. You were protecting yourself in the only way you knew how. You can't hate the parts of you that kept you safe. You can only teach them new ways to feel safe again. Healing starts when you recognize this. When you realize that the behaviors that once protected you may no longer be helping you. Through trauma-informed therapy, support groups, or even gentle self-reflection, you can rebuild safety from within. You can learn what genuine connection feels like without fear, without shame, and without the constant need to survive. Healing isn't about erasing your coping mechanisms. It's about understanding them and slowly teaching your body what peace feels like, whether again or for the first time. Everyone's healing journey looks different. What matters most is knowing that your reactions made sense. They were your body's way of keeping you alive until it was finally safe to heal. So when sexual trauma shows up as hypersexuality, it's not about wanting too much, it's about wanting to feel safe again. If this message resonated with you, share in the comments what this video made you think or feel. Your voice might remind someone else that they aren't alone. And if you want more gentle insights like this, remember to like, subscribe, and join us for your daily dose of learning about yourself and the people around you. You are not alone, and your healing matters.